Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're back. We're doing a best 2 out of 3 M21 draft. Alright, draft has fired, and I think we all know what I'm going to be taking here. Yeah, we got Brash Taunter. This is one of the strongest rares you can get. Ends games real quick. Really, stops up attacks. And even when they don't attack, it's just fighting them, their biggest creature, or your biggest creature, and killing them pretty quick. So, really ridiculous card. Kind of a feel-bad. A bit of a feel-bad card. Now, they do have ways to deal with it, like Grasp of Darkness at common, Pestilent Haze at uncommon, Soul Seer at uncommon. I guess Angelic Ascension technically deals with it too. But yeah, Brash Taunter, going to be our pick. There's also Thrashing Brontodon in here, good for all green decks. Ascension's good for all white decks. Palladium Mirror, good for any deck. Always happy to play that. Weird, good for Izzet, my least favorite archetype. To play, I'm not saying it's not strong. Skeleton Archer. I know how sensitive some of you Izzet players are out there. Okay, follow-up pick. Well, it feels wrong to not take Immolator. Besides being a great card, it's a bear that gets bigger, plus its removal. Can also deal it to planeswalkers, which is nice. I don't think I realized that before. I don't know if I've ever seen it. But it's a great follow-up pick to a Brash Taunter as well. Other notable picks in here, Basri's Acolyte. Kind of a broken common, in my opinion. Really pushing the limits of what commons are supposed to do. Multiple +1/+1 counters. It's a 2/3 lifelink for 4 mana. It's a lot of abilities tacked on a common. Finishing Blow. Unimpressive removal that's playable. Otherwise, just Spellgorger Weird. Kind of the only other actual card in here. So, not that many playables in that pack. Alright, the pick now. Probably a pretty easy Scorching Dragonfire. I mean, what can you say about it? Cheap removal. It's good. It exiles. Other notable picks in here. Havoc Jester, good for Rakdos Sack. Hobble Fiend, also good for the Rakdos Sack deck. Arcanus is an Izzet card. Battalion is more of a Selesnya card. And then Setessan Training. I've seen it played quite a bit. It's good if you stick it on a Drowsing Tyrannodon or something like that. But let's take the Dragonfire for now. And see what's open here. All right. Light of Promise is more for the Black-White Life Gain deck. We can take the Hobble Fiend now. It's a playable card. It's not an exciting pick here. But it's a playable card. And I like Rakdos Sack. I've had a lot of success with Rakdos Sack. I mean, Brash Taunter's playable in any red deck, so it doesn't really matter. And Hobble Fiend can do some pretty cool stuff. Otherwise, it's like a Wizardry in here. Turn to Slag, playable removal, opt the Sanctum. But we'll take Hobble Fiend. It's a good card. Alright. Well, Mauler's not bad. Turret Ogre kind of lets us just continue to cut red and figure out where we are. This is a good Gruul card. Gruul 4 Power Matters deck would like to have the Turret Ogre. And we can still definitely be a Gruul deck. Gruul deck's probably good for Taunter as well, since you'll have some fatties to fight with, even if they don't. Otherwise, Village Rites for the Sack deck. But I'm kind of okay just taking an Ogre here. I like Sabertooth Mauler, probably a little bit more than Ogre, actually, but it's not worth going into green for. Epitaph Golem, some good protection against Teferi's Tutelage. But we'll take just cut the last red card from there. Be happy. Okay, wow. Incinerator. Might just take the Dragonfire over it, though. This is pretty good, though. We don't actually have ways... That's not true. It makes Turret Ogre quite a bit better. It's kind of cool, actually. Turret Ogre... You have Incinerator out, you play Turret Ogre, you can just shock one of their creatures and get a 4/3. That is actually pretty good. I'd probably still rather just have a Dragonfire, though. It's tough to go wrong with removal. Incinerator's pretty good, though. 6 mana, 6/6. It's got trample. I'm going to take the Dragonfire, though. Arsonist. I love this card. One of my favorites. And it's pushing me a little bit closer to Rakdos Sack. Like I said, it's one of my favorite archetypes, too. I've had a lot of success with it. I think it's pretty impressively strong. You do need to get some pretty... You need to get a few pieces to make it work. But when you do, it's a good deck. There's Destructive Tampering. Tavern Swindler's more for the black-white life gain. Sure Strike's playable, not exciting. Short Sword, same sort of thing. I guess we can just take it Tampering. At the very least, you can bring it in out of sideboard. Swindler is an actual bear, but it's just... I want my bears to be a little more utility. Plus, we don't know what our second color is yet. Still some directions we can go. Like here we're getting a late Dreadmaw, which could be a sign to go Gruul. Otherwise, there's Archer, which is playable, not great. Not great for Rakdos Sack either. But Dreadmaw is good with Taunter. Attack with my 6/6 trample, fight my 6/6 trample. Both options are good. Yeah, I guess we'll take Dreadmaw. Just in case green pans out. So, Dilophosaur, I mean, I assume it's at its best in a Gruul deck, and it's still just not that good. But otherwise, I guess we could take a Canopy Stalker. It's got 4 power. I'd probably prefer this. Gain some life off of it. Must Be Blocked is kind of a... not a bad ability. Alright. So we can take the Jester. I mean, if we end up the Rakdos Sack, we're going to be really happy to have the Jester. We already have a Hobble Fiend. Didn't see much black, actually. Turn to Slag, taking it. Over Burn Bright. Get another burn spell. Get the Mauler here. I like Mauler. Maybe more than most. Okay, Ogre. So we've got a decent Gruul plan now. We did a good job of cutting red. I'll say that. Peer into the Abyss is a fun Teferi's Tutelage card. Enthralling Hold, Control Magic is always good and limited. Alpine Houndmaster is kind of a broken card, but I don't know if I want to just pivot right into Boros because of it. It might actually be worth it. It's not like we have much marrying us to green at the moment. We don't have any of the dogs for Houndmaster yet. But we can also take an Arsonist. I mean, we really... Rakdos Sack, I'm not sure it's going to work out, so we do need to find a second direction. Could just take a shock. I mean, Houndmaster is by far the strongest card here. And it's certainly not too late to pivot. And it's early enough where we can find the dogs. I like Boros Beats. I mean, Houndmaster is like one of the reasons to be in Boros Beats too, because it's such a dirty card. This is kind of a weird pack, actually. We could take the Charger. Veteran's more for Selesnya. Augur is more for... is it? Charger's just a good beater in general. There's Pride Malkin in green, but that's more Selesnya. Yeah, Charger seems like the right pick. Face Fetters is quite strong. Certainly the strongest card remaining in here, so alright. Maybe we just try and full-fledged pivot to white. A little Boros. I mean, this is good in any matchup, and it's at its best in black-white life gain for the synergies, but it also is just insane for any white deck, especially against aggro, because you just, you know, help that War of Attrition. Well, I want the Watchdog, but Siege Striker is one of the more important cards for an aggro deck like this, too. Really puts a game away quick. Getting a Battlements would be nice. Obviously, the Watchdog for the Houndmaster. Even if you don't get things to find with Houndmaster, this card's still awesome, but clearly it gets better if you can search up at least one. For now, we're just taking the Siege Striker, though, pretty happily. All right, then we get 5th pick Gaggle Master. That's a good sign for white, too. Gaggle Master's a great card. And otherwise, it's just a Pegasus, so yeah, seems right. It's another Turret Ogre. We do have some actual 4-power stuff. Or we take the Animal Sanctuary. I mean, technically, we have a bird, and we're actively looking for dogs for Houndmaster. Could take it. I don't think the chances are great, actually, that Battalion or Ogre make the deck, so we can take this and consider it. Also, it's nice to have, if you're going to play 17 lands, to have like a utility land. I'm happy to take all the Arsonists they can muster. If you've seen me play Boros, you know that Arsonist with like warded battlements, or is even just a little tool for Seed Striker, plays really well. I guess Crash Through technically has some Houndmaster synergy. The chances of playing Punisher are low. Chances of playing Crash Through are low. So I guess it doesn't matter. I'll take the big 7 drop. I mean, we're going to play 17 lands, I'm pretty sure. All right, Arsonist number 3. I'll play as many as I get past. I think they're great. Could actually take the Augur here. Currently only have 2, 3, 4 tools for it. It's pretty low. I don't think, I mean, it is nice that kind of fix your hand too if you're getting flooded. Flood mitigation is nice. You know what? I think we'll take it. We can take the Crag to get some fixing, but I think there's a pretty good chance it could make the deck, especially if we end up getting some more instants and sorceries. Like I can take Sure Strike here. Sure Strike. Good on our little dudes. Got the Battlements back, which is really nice with triple Arsonist and Seed Striker and Houndmaster and all that. So we did not get the Alpine Watchdog, but we have pack 3 to find that. Current cards I want to upgrade. I guess we can take the worst card here because we're not competing for those colors. Okay, so a Splash Green or something? I don't know. All right. So there's Geyser here, but we can also take the Watchdog. I mean, you really want to capitalize on that Houndmaster synergy, but Geyser is pretty insane. It's tough to go wrong with, because like I said, most likely we're playing 17 lands. I don't really want the Ogre and the Jester. I kind of want to upgrade them anyway. I'm kind of maybe still on board with Augur, especially if I get like a Geyser, because I could still see myself playing Sure Strike in here. It's nice to have a mana sink that's strong. I want the Watchdog too. Houndmaster is still playable without Watchdog, and Geyser is quite a bit better than Watchdog. So I guess we'll go Geyser. Temple of Silence wouldn't even be a bad card for this deck. All right, Acolyte is, you can't really go wrong with Acolyte. Great card, especially when you're rocking a bunch of Arsonists, so we'll take that. Maybe we'll wheel the Windscarred Crag we did last time. And that's the only other card I think we really want from there. Palladium Mirror is pretty excellent, but I think we take the Watchdog now. Palladium Mirror is pretty awesome. I mean, this isn't necessarily the right deck for it, but just like a turn 4, I mean, it helps your Geyser too. That's tough. That is tough. I'm not sure we're going to find more opportunities to get Watchdog, though. And deck fitting wise, I mean, we're on pack 3. We're going to run low on opportunities to find Watchdogs, and we haven't even seen a Cur yet, although we want that too. The card advantage you yield from Houndmaster really puts it over the top. It's kind of an important part of the deck. I would never pass a Palladium Mirror, but it does seem right for this deck. All right, there's a Masticore. I don't know if I love this card. It's not bad. I almost think I'd rather have a Shock. Just a ton of cheap removal with cheap creatures. It's really tough to go wrong. It's more synergy, I guess, for Augur. I kind of like Augur's ability to help your hand if you get flooded too. Just be able to discard lands and draw more cards and get a trample body out of it. I think the downside of Masticore is kind of significant. It is a 3-mana 3/4 though, which is a great beater, but I think I'm going to take Shock. So, could take Vryn Wingmare. It's evasive. Totally fine card. We don't have a ton of non-creature spells anyway. I don't even know if I necessarily want to play the Turn to Slag, although maybe Onaki Ogre is the easier card to cut. Another Houndmaster. Don't mind if I do. pretty nasty pickup for us. And we can kind of go hog wild playing creatures now. Hobble Fiend with triple Arsonist is nice too. We might ditch the turn to Slag, perhaps. Alright, Word Battlement's number 2, but we gotta take the Cur. Now we have double Houndmaster with all the synergies. So I think we gotta go for that. And I've gotta think about what I'm gonna cut now. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. Burn Bright, I mean, it's really not bad for us. I guess I'm not playing anything else, so it doesn't matter. But I don't think we even have space for that. Got another Watchdog, which is actually really good for us. Happy that we wheeled that Watchdog because 2 Houndmasters is going to make that a lot better. Got the Crag back too, so we've even got the fixing. This deck came together nicely. Take a Crash through, I guess. So, all the Havoc Jesters. Black was not open, otherwise all these Havoc Jesters would have been cool for like a Rakdos Sack deck. I don't even know if we're playing the first Sure Strike. Alright, let's figure this deck out. Because we have a lot of good tools in here. So, relatively low curve. Actual mana sinks we have are... Well, let's look at cards that mitigate Flood. I always like looking at cards that mitigate Flood. So, cards that mitigate Flood are like mana sinks and filter or card draw. So really all we have for that is Kinetic Augur, 2 Houndmasters because they generate card advantage. Igneous Cur is a mana sink, so we're up to four cards in the deck. And I guess Animal Sanctuary is kind of a mana sink too. So, oh, and why do I not see our Geyser? There it is. I was going to be like, I feel like we're short one. So do we have 5 or 6 tools that are mana sinks? We have, is that 5? 2, 3, 4, 5 with the Cur. 6 with the Animal Sanctuary. This is borderline. The nice thing is we have quite a few targets and we have double Houndmaster, so the 2 dogs and a Cur is going to be really nice with the Sanctuary. So I'm actually happy about that pick. That pick panned out. Plus we have the Goggle Master, which is a bird. This deck's good. This deck is really good. We do have to figure out 3 cuts. It's probably the Sure Strikes. As much as I like them, I think we're rocking better removal. And we actually want a lot of creatures in here because we've got the Destructive Tampering, which I don't think I'm going to cut. How many tools do we have for Augur? We just have 1 Shock, 2 Dragonfires. That's 3, 4, 5. You know, I hate that Augur is actually important for this deck. Because I think most of the time it's going to be like a 1/4 trample for 4, which is just not good enough. This is tough. I think we might have to cut the Augur. The fact that it flood mitigates is really important, though. I think I have to cut it. I don't want to. It just... I'm going to, and it is gonna increase our chances of flooding, but I'm thinking this deck is powerful enough with double Houndmaster, Brash Taunter, Geyser, where we should be able to steal quite a few victories. Our removal suite is amazing too. Shock, double Dragonfire, Face Fetters, Geyser for face or creatures. We can even get by ground units. I really don't mind Destructive Tampering in decks like this because I feel like you can win games. You can always sideboard out of it if they're all flyers or whatever. Getting the Windscarred Crag is nice too. So do we have double red or double... We do have 1 double red, but we've got double white too. We're doing the Sanctuary, the Crag. So 15, Land cards. I guess it's nice that Sanctuary is almost like a spell, sort of. Kind of. Also, Siege Striker is incredible with Watchdogs because of the vigilance. You can still attack in and get value out of them. It's really nice. So we have more red than white, but we have more pressing double white. We need both on turn 2 for Houndmaster, though, so probably do as even split as possible, and I guess we'll do the extra red. The Arsonist, because there's 3 of them, kind of throws that off a little bit in your mind, but yeah. We want the extra red, I think. So 8 white, 9 red, and the Animal Sanctuary. It's a sweet deck. Really strong deck. So, yep, this is it. I like it. I like it a lot. We'll see you round 1. All right, round 1, game 1. We're going to keep this. This hand's not as aggressive as I would like, but can draw some pretty good stuff, so hopefully we do. All right. It's kind of an unusual card for what looks to be a Simic deck to play a Riddle form, but they have a lot of card draw in there, so I guess it totally works. And they can also use it defensively, so. All right, Glide Master. Well, still can find value off our Hunt Masters, which is nice. We can Geyser the Glide Master. I think I'd rather just play a Cur and pass. At this point, we might as well just go for the maximizing of the Acolyte. Yeah, Acolyte into Gaggle Master. I think that's good. Now I think we want to... I want to Geyser that, but they could have an opt. So I think I'm actually just going to do this, and I'm actually, I think, just going to get in with the Watchdog. That way, if they have opt, yeah. I think if they had opt, they would have played it there, though. All right, no plays now, which kind of tells me that I want to what do I want to do here? Best use of mana is Gaggle Master. We can kind of set up for a destructive tampering at some point. 4 mana, 4 cards in hand. I kind of want to leave up Geyser to kill Coatl. So maybe the best move is just attacking with the Watchdog here. So I'm kind of curious. I have a feeling they have something. Especially if they're taking it. So I think we're going to pass. And I think when they draw, we're just going to Geyser this Coatl. If they wait until their turn, I'm okay with it too. Because we're still inching towards tampering being lethal. No play. I think I'm just going to let it be a 4/4. So we can attack with Kerr now. Let's see, attack with Kerr. I can still Geyser for 2. I guess not. No attacks. We're going to play the Goggle Master and then pass. Interesting. So if I draw a land, okay. Can get in for 7 with Destructive Tampering. So we'll play the Battlements. They have something, obviously. Main deck miscast. Oh, we better win this game. If we don't win this game, we better win this match. Main deck miscast. Still quite a ways away on Geyser. Well, so their whole deck is counter spells. I feel like we should win this. Even though we're losing this game pretty handily. I really feel like we should win this game. This is a weird game 1 to lose against. Rewind, miscast, cancel, and we're the hyper aggro deck. So I guess I played too conservatively. Surprisingly. Not surprisingly, I always play conservatively. I'm just surprised that it cost us so much. We just happened to run into a wall of counterspells. Like, how weird is that? How weird is it that a wall of counterspells beat us? Our whole deck is like Omega aggro and card advantage, and we're losing against the Titanic Growth miscast rewind cancel deck. I mean, I guess it was the Lore Scale Quaddle, which I didn't have an opportunity to kill. They would have had the rewind. So, I don't think there's a way to recover now. That's not true. We have Faith's Fetters. So we basically need to rip a Faith's Fetters here. And creatures still keep us alive. I might be off the Destructive Tampering now, too. Yeah, oh my god. We should so easily win this. So easily should we win this game. I'm going to be heartbroken if we can't win this match. If we lose against Simic counterspells and our deck is all 1 and 2 drops, that's heartbreaking. Maybe you're better off doing the Burn Bright. Probably not. What do I want? I can do the Augur, help flood mitigation. I guess so. I don't really like it in this deck, but I don't want to get flooded out. We even have Bren Wingmare, which just is going to cripple them too. And they just immediately get card advantage. Now we do Wingmare right away. So now they have to pay extra. Wait, what made them bring... I have to think about this. What did we even show them that had flying in game 1? I swear, if we lose against this deck, I swear. Did we even show them a flyer in game 1? I don't think we did. No, that's not true. We showed them the Goggle Master. The fact that they brought in a run afoul based on one Goggle Master that they countered. We actually didn't get what I think we needed there, which was the red mana for this Immolator, sadly. So I suppose that means we just get in. Alright. Now we can Siege Strike. Alright. Let's do double Watchdog here. It's going to work the best with the Siege Striker. I think we'll just do these two. This way, if they have Titanic Growth, still get in for 6. I could have tapped the Arsonist for the Siege Striker too, but yeah, now they can block the Arsonist, but they'd rather trade. So it's actually, surprisingly, that decision worked out well. All right. So they brought in Run Afoul against us. We have 1 flyer in the deck? No, we have 2. Bryn Wingmare and Goggle Master. So not really concerned about that. Titanic Growth is, I guess, pretty good, but we have spot removal that we can do in response. Lore Scale's a big deal. We don't have a ton of answers to it once it gets going. And Larcenist we don't care about. Frantic Inventory's fine. Depends on how many they have, I guess. Most of their guys are ground guys. In fact, all of them are, other than... So maybe it is... Maybe we do actually want the tampering. Alright. Alright, no lands. We got a mull. This one will keep, but we're going to have some problems. I guess we ditch the tampering. I mean, I guess we get at the worst. Alright, well that was actually pretty good. At least now we can go Watchdog and a Striker into, and we have all our colors. Alright, that worked out. And at least these two are excellent together too. Houndmaster. It's a good draw here, but I think we're going to go Siege Striker first. Like, I could have attacked with Watchdog with the Sanctuary out, but that eats up my whole turn and makes a trade. I don't like it. I'd much rather, like, play 2 creatures next turn and kind of go off. Another kind of cool thing I can do next turn is play a Sanctuary, play an Arsonist, attack with both. I leave up Pump of Watchdog, and this gets double pumped. So it's 3/3 double strike plus a 3/3 vigilance, potentially. That's a lot of potential damage. I might have to do it anyway, because Teferi's kind of a big deal. Alright, let's do the Sanctuary. Let's do the Arsonist. So, Siege Striker threatens lethal onto Teferi. I think we probably just attack it with both. And we're going to tap both of our creatures. And if they block Watchdog, we just pump and trade. Alright. So basically, we get to trade. We kill Teferi. I'd say we did good. Alright, they phase it out. But Teferi's pretty well threatened now, at least. I don't know what to say. Teferi's good. I guess the Arsonist is gonna at least threaten to kill it, regardless here. Unfortunately, they have Teferi Lore Scale Quaddle now, which is not ideal. So it's going to be a 4/4. I'm going to have to be okay with that. Alright, so let's go Houndmaster. I guess we want red mana. Houndmaster. get our card advantage. Watchdog because it's better with Striker. Plus an Arsonist, so we can, yeah. Do I attack with the Arsonist too? Kind of takes away from Siege Striker value. They have 2 mana, so they could have Insubstantiate. If they have Titanic Growth, they can make this 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess just this and tap everything. All right. So unfortunately, I can't believe they attack there. Actually, maybe, well, maybe I should have attacked with the... I don't know. This doesn't have trample anymore either, which helps. Maybe I should have left an Arsonist back to block. This might have been a little not cautious. All right. Well, let's go for lethal here, I think. So we'll shock the Larcenist. Hmm. Hmm. Hobble Fiend. This is... So we can sack. Okay. Let's see here. How many things do I have to attack with to... So if I tap 4 creatures, I can make this 5, so it can trade with the Quaddle. I think that's how we do it. So I think what we do is attack with the Siege Striker and the Watchdog. If their last card is Capture Sphere. Alright. So, can we still kill them is the question. We're going to, say we swing with everything, they block our 4/4. We're going to ping that off. So then we can pump once, 3, 4, 5. I don't think it's quite enough. So I think we pass this turn. So we'll sack the Arsonist, kill the Pilfer. Alright, I guess we can... actually, I guess we can just spend this turn pumping Igneous Cur. Sure. So now we can go red land, spend a white, sack the Arsonist, kill the Pilfer, and then they should be dead. Alright. Alright. Good. Glad we won that match. They did remarkably well against us, because I felt like our deck was quite a bit better than theirs, but they managed to hold their own pretty well against us, actually. Alright, we'll see you in round 2. Alright, round 2, we'll play first. Oh yeah. Beautiful keep. We even still get full value off Houndmaster. There's one draw step to screw that up. Hopefully it doesn't. And I love that screw it up means we don't get as much broken value from Houndmaster as like we normally would. That's the only downside. I guess I'm willing to make this trade. So next turn I theoretically can play Immolator and kill a creature if they play it. Could just do it anyway. It's kind of nice to have the surprise Immolator though, so why don't we just play a creature they already know we have. Sure. So we'll do the Watchdog. This does make our... It only makes our Immolator worse if... in certain circumstances, so it's probably fine. Let's get in for 2 here. And then we can... I guess play Cur plus Immolator now. Now, we can get Pestilence hazed pretty badly here. They have a pretty slick-looking deck already. Well, not really, I guess. I take it back. Nothing too extremely value-ridden yet. But now they can raise their... I guess we still can get in with Kerr, though, which is nice. If they raise their Vessel. That's true. Still gonna play the Watchdog. Late Assassin. Right. So, yeah, we'll offer the 2-for-1. Because, honestly, it's not even really a 2-for-1. You even get to pump twice on top of it, which is nice. Can we pump 3 times and get in for 9? Man, that's close. But I think we'll just get in for 7 and kill their assassin. I don't really want to trade my Kerr for a Visionary now. I think I'll just get him for 2. Alright, so they've got some pretty high value stuff there. If I do that, then they just block with the Steward. Suppose I have to do it anyway. Even better now than when they can give them lifelink, I suppose. I mean, Geyser's lethal. That's a nice thing. They managed to get through our Houndmaster double card draw value too, and still end up with more cards in hand than us. It's a lot. It's impressive. Well, I'll go for it here. Wow. Talk about a game theft. All right. So they've got Veto. We have double Scorching Dragonfire. We've got Face Fetters. Well, Face Fetters does not turn off the triggered ability. So they must have Rise from the Grave in there, right? Raise, whatever it's called. Because I don't know why you would play the 1/1 lifelinker otherwise, unless to just combat aggro, which isn't a bad idea. Turn to Slag, I guess, would deal with that, but our spot removal is still really good. Brash Taunter is going to be worse because they have Grasp. I'm not sure there's anything I like more or less here. Oh yeah, this one's good. Need some lands, but Not going to hear me complaining about this hand. Im's pretty good. Uh-oh. Rapidly losing out on that Houndmaster value. Plus we need a land draw too. Alright, getting the land draw there is really nice, because now we can go Arsonist, Watchdog, and next turn either play an Acolyte or a Battlements, so that's good. They can grasp something if they want. They didn't actually want to block, which is interesting too. All the Fetid Imps, they've got some Death Touch. Not sure if that matters. So we can actually do the Acolyte. I think we do. It sets up for Battlements better. It also just makes better use of mana. Alright. So we're actually going to pump the Arsonist. And the Watchdog. And the reason I'm doing this is it just really spreads out the threats here. Because I think they're going to want to block, trade. I mean, they can trade with all three, I guess. Yeah, I suppose so. They actually had pretty good mana there. To be able to have play an imp plus keep 2 imps up. Worked out pretty well. And look at that. You can get value back immediately. I don't really want to face Fetters and Imps, but here we go. Nope, they found something. There's Veto. Uh-oh. There's the action they needed. So I had to waste a face. I didn't have to waste face Fetters on it. Key choice of this game was, do I go for the extra 3 damage and hope we draw some value in the next couple turns? And it really came down to, did we see Dreadmaw in game 1? No. Did not see it in game 1. We still are, I guess, only 2 mana away from being able to... Volcanic Geyser, but I don't think we have 2 draw steps left. We're getting a 12-point life swing a turn here. It's actually an 18-point life swing, believe it or not. They gain 6 too, so 12 life loss to us, 6 life gain for them. This still seems like a highly winnable match too. I mean, I'm saying that because our deck's insane, but it really does feel like this is a winnable match too. So we'll go to game 3. Sanguine Indulgence is pretty good against our spot removal. Actually, not even. We have 2 Scorching Dragonfires. How did we lose? How did we lose? We have the things that exile so they can't even get them back. Jeez. Yeah, I feel like we should just slam dunk victory this game, honestly. So we don't draw white. We probably lose. All right, I'm going to mulligan. I don't like this hand, and we have to keep it. All right, we don't play a threat next turn, and it might just be GG's. Like, our deck is incredible, but it does hinge on playing one of our, 35,000 threats that we have on actual turn 2 or 3. And hopefully it's not just an arsonist on turn 3. That's not quite the one you want. All right, that's the rip we needed. I think I actually dropped the curve first. Just because it's a better mana sync with the cards we currently have. Well, Fate's Fetters is good. Guess we just attack, yeah. Could shock in response. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, note, this is all from one card right now. It's been just Houndmaster. Are we going to get Sanguine Indulgence valued out again? Can actually shock that. Kind of want to, actually. Because I don't feel like shock deals with a lot of other things anyway. Could have just shocked that for combat, I suppose, too. Alright. So I think we go Immolator, kill the Visionary, go for lethal here. They could have a Blackguard. I think as long as our Arsonist can... can deal 1 damage, we're in pretty good shape, though. Alright. They get a lifelinker. So they gain 4. Say black. Yeah, it's not gonna work. I hate seeing Blood Glutton be good. Alright, still 1. Thankfully. But it's pretty close, actually. I feel like our deck is fantastic. So the fact that we're even going to game 3 is saying these are some pretty exciting matches. But I'm glad we're getting the victories here. We'll see you in the finals. All right. Last match here. Believe it or not, this is kind of like on the low end of power level for our deck, this 7-card keep here. You really don't want to open a hand with Destructive Tampering. You want to draw it after you have like 6 creatures out. But we're always like 1 Houndmaster top deck away from just going way over the top, which is nice. Kind of want to play the Arsonist, because a burn spell getting our Immolator is not good, but I guess since we don't really have much, well, we'll play the Arsonist. It's not the best use of mana, but playing Immolator to nuke something, I don't know. Seems better to me. All right, there we go. There's the top deck we wanted. I think we'll just offer the Immolator to the slaughterhouse here. That worked out kind of nicely, actually. Even got our Houndmaster to boot, which is nice. So they ended up shocking an Arsonist instead of our Houndmaster, which is good. We're going to be able to follow up with 2 creatures, which is good. Let's see what they discard here. Setting up for a tampering now, which is good. They didn't discard anything, which is surprising. I think we just go Cur Watchdog Pass. I could. They have Opt mana up, so I don't want to just swing my Houndmaster blindly into that. And if we play tampering next turn, I think we actually get in for a pretty sizable amount of damage. Kind of want them to tap out this turn, but unfortunately, Izzet does not tap out too often. I mean, they clearly have something. Another shock. Alright. Daybreak Charger's pretty sweet. Let's just do the Charger first before the tampering here. And I guess we offer them both. Could actually swing with the Arsonist too, I guess, but he might have another piece of spot removal. So now at least we're lethal with Destructive Tampering next turn, which is good. That's perfect. Could we have asked for a better turn for them to do? I don't think so. So now your dudes can't block. And we have a bunch of lethal damage. Playing is it? They have Chandra's Incinerator in there. We've got Face Fetters for that, as well as the Augur. Tampering did what it needed to do, which is nice. Actually, isn't. It's not bad against Goblin Wizardry if it works the way I think it does. I mean, I think it does. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. It's not like a one-time effect. Like, you could cast Tampering, and then before blocks they cast Wizardry, and those Wizardry tokens I think still can't block, because it's until end of turn, or this turn. I almost need to look that up, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Thankfully, they have the rules text on that. So yes, creatures that enter the battlefield later that turn still cannot block, which is good. I guess if there's one downside of our awesome deck, we really don't have much of a sideboard at all. Which is, if I was going to ask for any problem, that's the one to ask for. Not having a sideboard is totally fine. So they've got multiple shocks, which are pretty good against us, but we've got those Houndmasters. Remember, those Houndmasters are just dirty. Just dirty. Yeah, Wall of Runes is a good idea. We're Omega aggro, so stave off that early damage. We got the Fetters, I guess, for like an Incinerator. Unfortunately, there's shocks. They can shock us and still ping our guys off, which is pretty good. I think we do... Well, maybe we don't play the Immolator onto an empty board. We know they have multiple shocks. We can't attack into the Wall of Runes anyway. Yeah, we probably hold off on that. I want to keep my Immolator alive. Canis. Alright. The Immolator. Yeah, we'll just shock them. I want to keep my Immolator alive. Alright, get through 2 of their shocks, that's fine too. A little bit less good now. So we're still just like a Houndmaster away from some serious value here. Once again, I know I've said it every match, but this actually feels like another match we should crush too. Like, they do have shocks, but aren't we just always a Houndmaster away from just way overwhelming them card advantage-wise? I mean, granted, we are flooding out so badly right now, but I really feel like this is a match we should crush. Izzet is a good deck. You know I hate it, but it's a good deck. We're so fast we really shouldn't even allow them to get to their 4 and 5 drops to reap enough value to win through this stuff. That's how I feel about it. But when our best play is a turn 1 Arsonist and turn 3 Immolator, I don't think we're doing it. I don't think we're doing it. I don't think we brought the Augur in. I guess I should have played a land for guys that are there. Alright, they're out of cards in hand. I would have done that on my turn, but meaning their turn. Their draws were also better than ours. So they can win, but our draws have to be pretty bad. Like, go over to what happened in this game. We did nothing. We've done nothing in this game except play like a turn 7 Houndmaster. Are we even losing that badly? No. We're still not. Like, they've just been drawing pure gas, and it's like turn 11, and they have like 1 threat out. God, I hate losing to cancel. When you're Omega aggro and you're losing to cancel, that's painful. That is painful. They're also drawing pure gas. Pure gas. Pure gas. They haven't missed, I don't think. Well, I don't want to show them that, and we're dead anyway, so we'll go to game 3. I definitely feel like we should win this match. Like, yes, they've got a ton of spot removal. We've got 2 Houndmasters. I don't even know if we want the tampering now. We might have to do the Augur. I hate Augur for us. I don't think it's great. But when you're getting flooded that badly, you need some mitigation. We need flood mitigation. I'm going to have to do it. Like I said, I don't want to. I don't think it's great, but we need to be able to, like, not have 8 or 9 lands out by the end of the game. All right. All right. They're making it hard on us. We just rip a Houndmaster, and I think we can do it. Guess I should have played a red there. All right. Do I discard the shock? Yeah, I don't think we're winning this game with on the back of a shock. Sadly. Well, I don't have any confidence left in this game, but I think it took a lot of circumstances for us to lose this. We had to mulligan, we had to have no Houndmaster. We had to get no action off Kinetic Augur. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that had to go wrong. Like, it's not over yet, but I've kind of lost confidence that we can win this now. We took too long. We've not mounted any sort of offense against them. So there is that. But I don't know what to say about it. That's kind of just the way it is. If they shock Hobble Fiend, I'm going to sack. I'm ready to sack the Arsonist, I guess. Taunter can do a lot for us if it doesn't get countered. Well, they don't have cancel mana, but sadly, you can't cast Taunter. And they do have opt mana up, so it's a problem too. I suppose I should have sacked while I had while they were tapped out. I guess if they play like Dowser or something, then we're okay. I'm gonna Dragonfire this Singer. Now we're in a tough spot. Now we're in a real tough spot. Because they're going to have another spell, aren't they? I don't know what to do here. I guess we just do this. All right. I think I'm going to try and kill the tokens here. I might just have to trade this. All right. Well, if we can resolve a Taunter, I'm feeling good. Incinerator. It's got Trample too, which makes the Taunter quite a bit worse. All right. Well, they're tapped out. That's good. Problem is Trample, of course, but guess I can Dragonfire my own Taunter too. It's kind of cool. Yeah, it's one way to do it. I think the Trample's going to get us ultimately, though. So I still believe in my heart of hearts that our deck was the better deck, but kind of as expected once we had to mulligan and didn't see a Houndmaster the whole game. Looks like we're going to lose. Which is too bad. Got 6 mana. Guess we can augur. Can't Gagglemaster plus Dragonfire. I think we'll see if we can kill the Dowser first. Because we're probably going to have to. Nah, they're going to keep it alive. That's too bad. No? Well, they got their Read the Tides back, so I guess it doesn't really matter. They're just going to bounce our dude and kill us. Alright, so they're just going to bounce our dude. And if I played another dude, they would just bounce that dude too. But yeah, like I expected, we lost. One of the major issues with playing hyper aggro is your game plan needs to involve, you know, actually like playing spells and stuff early in the game. And not just like arsonist into nothing, into nothing, into nothing. So you need a better game plan than that. And it did not pan out in match 3, unfortunately. But I do think we had the better deck. I will say that. Double Houndmaster with multiple search targets. All the removal you could possibly ask for to deal with anything. I think we had it all. They just got there. They needed to be able to survive. They did it perfectly. Just did not put that pressure on like our deck was, you know, completely designed to do. So, disappointed about that. When you have that many 2-drops and 1-drops and value spells, we saw Sea Striker once in match 1 and that was it. Saw Taunter right at the end. Never did a big geyser. Did win off tampering, which was nice a couple times. All right, well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.